post-run stretch or routine that I tend to go to. So starting in child's pose, just lengthening forward into your arms, into your extended child, soften into your shoulders, really create that space through your spine, opening into the rib cage as you encourage the heels and the buttocks to draw towards each other by sitting the sit bones back. Breathing as deeply as you can, softening, just subtle movements with the breath. Feeling the space start to open. Spreading your hands wide, connecting the fingertips, ball and heel of the hand into the mat. Maybe for folks who have slightly broader shoulders, take your hands a little bit wider, even to the edge of the mat. And then raise up onto all fours. And we're going to come up into your downward dog. So raising up into your hips. And from here, we'll just gently walk the heels. Lengthen one heel, one leg back at a time. Just create a little bit of space, opening through the calves, the Achilles, behind the knees, into the hamstrings, through the entire back of the body. So what I really like to do, often to start, just adding a little bit of twist, stepping the feet 1 foot distance further forward, and then taking your right hand to the outside of the left leg. It doesn't matter where it is, whether it's up by the knee, down towards the ankle, wherever you feel most comfortable, allowing the eyes to then look under that left armpit. Just gently encourage that rotation through the upper back. Breathe. And then release by taking that hand back and swapping it over to the other side, taking the left hand to the right leg and guiding the eyes under that right arm. And then release by taking the left hand back, stepping the feet back that distance, back into your downward dog. And then from here we're going to come up into our three-legged dog. So we'll start with the left leg. We'll take that left leg straight up to the sky. Now you might like to start with your hips square to the mat. That might be enough for you. Otherwise you can rotate the left hip, stacking the hips on top of each other and then releasing the heel back towards your buttocks. So encouraging the knee to the sky, the right heel down, lengthen to the back, through the sides of the body. And then from here, we're going to lift up onto the right toes, draw the eyes forward, and swing forward with that left knee as you extend back into that right leg and draw yourself up, opening through the frontal spine, softening into the shoulders, gaining space, and then we'll work into the right quad, so the right thigh, drawing that right foot in towards the buttocks, holding onto that right foot, breathing, feeling that space open up, not only through the thigh, into the hip flexor, but also into the arm of the right arm, the shoulder, across the chest, and then just slowly, when you're ready, we'll release down with that right foot. And then you may like to come on down onto your forearms, and then from here we can rest with the forehead onto the back of the hands, or I've just formed a fist. Or you may like to extend out into your arms, and then you can rest with the head towards the mat if it's comfortable. Just do what feels right for you. And then of course I sometimes like to take a little twist by taking the weight of my buttocks just over from the left side through to the right, just finding where it feels most like my body needs to open up, especially activating through the right glutes, into the thigh, the hips, maybe into the knee, and just finding that space where it really needs a little bit of opening. Breathing deeply. And then from there, a few breaths later, just slowly walk those hands back towards that left knee, tucking the toes again of that right foot, and then we're going to push back up into your downward dog. So again, just free the calves, so walk the heels again, lengthen into the back of the body, and then we'll swap it over to the other side. So you're just going to take that right leg straight up to the sky, start by stacking those, keeping the hips parallel to the floor, and then you may like to stack the hips on top of each other and release that heel towards the buttocks. Encourage encourage back through the arms. Work with the breath. And then from here, lift up onto the left toes, eyes draw forward, swing through that right knee, extend back into that left leg, draw up into the upper body, soften then back down with the shoulders, and breathe. And then when you're ready, we'll bend into that left knee, taking the foot towards your buttocks, drawing those heels right in towards your buttocks. If you can't quite reach, I forgot to mention this before, but you may like to take your foot to the wall or to a chair. The couch is always a good one. So you can just rest your foot there, especially if you can't extend back with your arm, softening into the shoulders. Breathing. It's often a tight one for a lot of people. So slowly release when you're ready, taking that foot back down, and then come on down. Again, I'm just moving back a little, onto those forearms, and you can choose by forming a fist, resting the forehead, or of course extending back into the arms, extending forward into the arms, back with that left leg. And just taking a very subtle little rock from side to side. And in your own space, just gently acknowledging how long you feel that you need to be there so that you can then draw yourself up. Coming back up onto all fours. Tucking the toes and then sliding back up into your downward dog, raising up. Again, walk the heels free up into the back of the calves. Lifting up onto the toes and then come back down onto your knees and just pause into the pose of the child, resting the forehead again onto the back of the hands. Just breathe again, that space into the lower back. Areas that perhaps have been challenged when you've been out exercising. And then when you're ready, just gently drawing yourself up. And we're going to come around onto our sit bones. So lengthening forward with your legs, we're going to really make an effort to lift up through the flesh of your sit bones so that you can sit back down onto the sit bones, connect right into the earth. Legs are outstretched. Watching you not locking into the knees so that the heels lift off, just straight into the legs, drawing the toes right up to the sky. And at this point, raising into the arms, lengthening up, tall through the torso, and then hinging at the hips, keeping the spine long, slowly releasing the hands down at the point at which you feel that you've come as far as you can. You can choose then to bring the hands under the thighs or the knees, softening into the shoulders, and continue to walk yourself with your upper body forward, always encouraging that chest towards your toes. Hands may prefer to be around the calves, ankles or feet, whichever feels right for you. And just notice with each exhalation, you can just gently lengthen out a little further forward, and then just allow that natural curve to come into the back. As once you've extended as far forward as you can allow the eyes to just gently release down towards the legs. And then just in your own time, on the next inhale, roll back up through your spine. Give those legs a little wiggle out at the knees. And I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together, holding the soles together, and then just gently flutter in with those knees. Let them just gently bounce out to the side. Be kind. And then bringing the elbows onto those calves or shins and just gently, again, lengthen forward. So keeping the shoulders down. The chest lifts up, shoulders back down, and gently drawing forward. So I'm not rounding into the back. I'm encouraging the heart forward as you open into the inner thigh, the adductors. And then just to finish off, I'm just going to round myself up, lift up into the knees, give the knees a wee bounce, and come into a wee twist. So I just like to cross in with my legs, whichever way feels right for you. Taking a wee twist, one hand to the knee, the other behind, sitting tall and rotating. And sigh the breath out, over to the other side. Inhale, exhale, back. And release. Maybe once more to either side. And then just slowly release. If you wish, you may want to put the other leg in front and just do the same thing. So I started this side and then releasing it off over to the other side. Just to give the space into the hip. So clearly this side is a lot tighter for me. You may want to just give this side a little bit of extra encouragement, opening in through your hip, and then just gently roll yourself up. My post-run routine. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed.